Bonus Brief Brewery Bio number 2. Foulmouthed Brewing.
I'm Craig Dilger. I'm the owner and brewer at Foulmouthed Brewing, and we're in South Portland, Maine.
Hey all, Amanda here, and welcome to bonus episode number 2 of 8 here on Great Beer Adventure. Our second little holiday present for you. Before we jump in, a big thank you to the Maine Brewers Guild and their freshman orientation event. Let's get started. What is your origin story?
Origin story. I mean, I've been a home brewer since just before I was legally allowed to be drinking beer, and I caught the bug right away that this was something that I was going to be doing forever. And me and my wife and I met when we were living in New York City, and we were brewing together in 3-gallon batches because it's all we had room for behind the couch in our tiny New York City apartment. And at that time, she was working for a company doing Broadway concessions. And so she's knew her way around all of the licensing and taxes and all of that kind of stuff for all of those companies. And it worked out, for the last 9 years, we've been planning this as a concept of something that we would like to be doing together. And it took us that long to find the space and really solidify the concept and the funding and ultimately finish the build out and make it happen. The idea of the name Foulmouth comes from the fact that this entire region was founded as Falmouth. So the whole Portland seacoast was founded as Falmouth. The peninsula of Portland was originally Falmouth Neck. And we thought that it was a funny play on words between that history of the town's name and the salty language of the shipyards that are right across the street from our brewery.
What feeling do you want people to have when they come and visit you?
So, we're in an old auto garage, so in terms of the aesthetics, we sort of went with a very clean industrial kind of vibe. Lots of white and then, balanced a bit with warm wood, and it's just really light atmosphere. But we want people to feel like this is a place where people are experimenting with something in a really clever and clean way, while still feeling like you can be at home and not barraged with too much information. No TVs. It's like a place to sit and really enjoy beer and incredibly good food and pairing the two together. I don't know that we even intend to be totally set apart from the pack. I love what the pack is doing. I think people love the opportunity to go to different places and experience beers. Some of ours are really based on historical styles and are simple, easy drinking, everyday beers. So they're not set apart from the pack, except from the fact that we feel like we do them really well, and they're clean, drinkable beers that you can put down a few of. And then other ones is we're just not afraid to try everything and anything. We like putting interesting ingredients in beers and working with an array of things in a more culinary aspect of beer, so that our beers will stand alone as a beer, but will go beautifully and interestingly with the food that we're selling at the pub as well. And our chef at the brewery is a home brewer. Our sous chef is an award-winning home brewer. And they come into the kitchen or into the brewery with ideas, and I go into the kitchen with ideas, and we play back and forth. So I feel like more than in a lot of places, we're marrying the two sides of beer and food in a really comfortable way.
Tell us about a couple of your brews.
So what we're pouring here today is Iron Goddess. It's a wheat saison with green tea and honey. And we picked that to showcase here today because that's on the spectrum of the things that we do that are kind of out there. And we take a concept and twist it. So it starts from a traditional wheat-based saison recipe, but we twist it with the addition of honey and Tiguanyin tea, which is just this really delightful, floral, airy, aromatic, fruity kind of green tea, green oolong tea, actually. But it's just a really wonderful pairing, and it marries into that beer in such a delightful way that we are stoked to be able to present this one at this kind of an occasion as something that stands out and sets us as a nobody. I don't know anybody else making a wheat and green tea and honey saison, right? So, I mean, we've got that, and then like we have another beer that we brought a little bit of for people to sample today. That's we call it the Night Villain Beer Noir. Nightville is the neighborhood where our brewery is located, and it's inspired by the German Schwarzbier style, and it's a black ale. We haven't been doing any lagers yet. We hope to, but we work with our ale yeast at lower temperatures to make some German style ales that are not traditional lagers, but really clean and easy drinking. And so it's nice to have black beer that has those roast flavors, not just the black color, and it's got a real depth of chocolatey complexity, but not that heavy body of a stout. That's us doing something that's really based on a traditional recipe and something that's really jumping off the map.
And as always, what was your first beer memory?
My first significant beer memory is more the good question, right? I mean, when I was in college, I wasn't a beer drinker or a drinker at all in high school and into much of college. And I would go to parties and things, and all they would have would be like, kegs of PBR or Natty. And I was like, none of this stuff is interesting or delicious. I don't want it at all. And I was at college in Rochester, New York, and there's a pub there called the Horny Toad or the Old Toad. I should probably remember that better, but something Toad pub in Rochester, New York that has an amazing array of beers. And I tried Old Engine Oil, the Havison beer there. That's just this like incredibly thick, heavy, chocolatey English style dark beer that was like, oh my God, beer can have flavor. There's so much going on here. And I don't know that I would still like that beer as much as I did then now, but it taught me that this could go anywhere. And from there, I started drinking anything I could get my hands on that wasn't just a American adjunct lager, and eventually even learned to appreciate American adjunct lagers.
Thank you, and congratulations to all of Maine's newest brewers. Also, a huge shout out to the Maine Brewers Guild. You can find links to them and to Foulmouthed Brewing over on the website at greatbeeradventure.com/bonus2. If you all, our fabulous co-adventurers, would like to support the show, check out our Patreon page. For less than the cost of a beer, you can show us some love. Go to greatbeeradventure.com/support. If you want to see even more from our adventures, follow us on Instagram at Great Beer Adventure. And be sure to subscribe to the show. That way, you won't miss a thing. Great Beer Adventure is part of the Great Pint Society. Cheers.